I don't. You have to press circle on it to start with.
Oh. Oh, I know. Are you getting ready to do... Ah, right, okay. Canning, yeah? Is that what you're about doing?
Yeah.
Ah.
What website do you use? You're not going to delete me, are you?
No.
That's what she said. Next day, she was gone.
Oh, shit, anyway.
So I keep looking at Chatterbait and OnlyFans.
That's the one we use.
And adult working.
Oh, I've looked on that one. I didn't enjoy it much.
Live Jasmine. I can't find her. Live Jasmine's too glam for her. She's a bit of a skank.
No, that's cool. Don't do like that.
Do what?
No, I was going to comment on the Blower's thing, saying you want good players, but don't get James to play for you. So that's a bit cruel, isn't it?
Hmm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Is it wrong? Is it?
What?
Emplaver's just commented saying, so when does he get his contract for the Does? We could use some new players. I can even Sloth's got him, man.
Oh, God.
Dean's on Fortnite apparently at the minute. Well, I'm starting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the Pro-Am action tonight. It's going to be an absolutely enthralling night. Yet to get Dean Wysocki and Leon Fernian, so we hope they can get in by the end of practice. But we have some fantastic drivers out there and some fantastic racing. A second night race of the season, as always, here at Simplay Motorsport. And bringing you through the action tonight, myself, Matthew Duffin, and Dan Davis in the commentary box with me. Dan, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Yourself, Matthew?
Very good, thank you, buddy.
That's very good to hear. Very good to hear.
What we're expecting tonight, and Dan, Brno circuit, we've seen in the seasons gone by that it's a very tricky track. It can be very challenging for the drivers and demanding for the drivers. But what are we expecting from these boys tonight?
Well, most people know that this is one of the circuits that I'm very fond of, Brno. It was actually where I took my first win here at Simplay Motorsport. So it's an interesting circuit nonetheless, and was actually built and designed in the idea of motorbikes. That's why the circuits are very open wide and not very tight circuits whatsoever. Night race as well, so a little bit of extra paying attention as the guys we need to do. Not the most well-lit circuit, but nonetheless it's going to be an interesting night's worth of racing. And I think for this circuit, Matt, it's all about patience. The more patient you are, the more the track will reward you.
Indeed so. I couldn't agree with you more on that one. And so the more patient you are, the more the track rewards you. And none so more patient than Mercedes drivers, because tonight the power advantage that they have over the rest of this field kind of goes out the window here, Dan, doesn't it? It really is a track, as we saw last season with the Acura and the McLaren doing very well, where the Audi and the Ginetta could really sort of gain some points back over that Mercedes in the recent weeks.
Yeah, definitely so. There's only going to be really one sector, I would say, where the Mercedes should be at its best, which is the final sector, which is up the hill. That's where the power advantage will come into effect. But most of the circuits is all about downforce and how good your chassis is, really. And not so more than the car behind Welshie right now than the Ginetta. That this car should be the favourite around here, with its advantages of having multiple choices of downforce and also being very nimble as well. I think this should be the car to keep an eye on this evening. But who knows? The Lamborghini's another good shout. It's long corners, fast, low-speed corners as well. So it's a mixture of corners where the Lamborghini can benefit.
It is. It should be an interesting night. The Audi as well could be a fantastic choice. The championship, though, looks like this, and with still over 200 points left to play for in the Drivers' Championship and 329 points left to play for. 376 points left to play for in the Constructors. We've lost Shane. We hope to get him back in. The championships look like this. Little Each leads the way on 231, and it is 3. Although he thought it was 7 earlier when I posted the table, it is 3 points difference to this man, Lucas Roth, who has been in some fantastic form as of late. And then it's up to P3, James Grill. He's only 28 points off the championship lead, is this man. In some fantastic form as well at the moment, barely off the podium, but tonight a huge task. Ukbar then in P4, a chance for him to really gain some points in his Ginetta tonight on a track that should suit this car. Bryn P5, kind of having a bit of a slump in this mid-season bit, hoping to bounce back at the end as he was at the beginning. Only 59 points off the back. Still a good season for Bryn, but I'm sure he'll be expecting more. This man, Welchie, P6, he's 79 off the back, tied with Holty in 7th place. And Welchie and Holty, you couldn't separate them last week at... where was we last week? Oh, I forgot.
Hockenheim.
You couldn't separate them last week at Hockenheim. They both race 1 and race 2. They was together. Dean Wisoki's P8. He's yet to get in the session. Smithy, though, is close to the back of him. He is some 12 points behind in 9th place. 10th place is Stealth Sloth on 102. DJ Phil on 99, yet to make the 100-point mark from Shane, who's just getting stronger each week, who hopefully we can get him back in as well in P12. That Buzzy Boy P13, and for the first time ever, Dan, at Simplay Motorsport, a driver on minus points. Leon Fernie, due to the amount of retirements, again, he's not yet here tonight, but due to the amount of retirements, Leon Fernie's on minus 14 points. That's a first.
Not been Leon Fernie's season. Just he's had moments of brilliance, especially at Silverstone Classic, but not able to put the laps together or the races together. Yeah. So Leon Fernie, not the best thing to have on your driving CV. That's the one. I'll see a CV.
That's the one. Constructors' Championship looks like this, and Teletubby Motorsport, a strong 23-point lead from Pick and Mix Motorsport at the moment in time. Terminal Velocity Racing are 86 behind in P3. My Mate Racing then on 258, 4 clear of MC Motorsport, who are only 3 clear of Super Crash Bros. So it is tight in that midfield between 4th, 5th and 6th. And Getting Quicker, My Mate, are on 124. And Dan, another first for Simplay Motorsport, is the team that Dean and Leon Fernie are in. Dean is outscoring his team. Yeah.
That's, again, another statistic that you don't kind of really want on your CV, is it, to be honest?
No, you don't really, but... 3 points in this championship, Dan, between Lucas Roth and Little Each, and Lucas Roth has been in some fine form as of late. He's on a bit of a roll at the minute, isn't he? And he's going to be... It's hard to stop him when he's on a roll.
Yeah, definitely so. Well, both Teletubby Motorsport boys have really got on a roll, especially Holty. He's really started to also get himself back underneath his car and start to learn a little bit more about setups and how to get this car set up to how he prefers to drive it, opposed to Lucas Roth. But this is where Keeks might struggle. This might be a circuit where he might struggle, especially with Little Each in the Audi. This could be a great opportunity for points for Little Each to try and outscore him here as they then head over to another circuit, which will benefit the Mercedes once again.
Yeah, we've kind of got 2 tracks in this last 4 weeks, haven't we, where 2 tracks will favour the Ginetta and the Audi, 2 tracks will favour the Mercedes-Benz. In this one, in Oschersleben, and then the tracks for the Mercedes-Benz of Daytona and Monza. And you're right, we kind of come here where take what you can if you're a Mercedes driver, try and really take advantage if you're an Audi or Ginetta driver. Then we head to Daytona where you've got to kind of swap it around a bit, haven't you? And this is the thing for tonight. Who do you think, what car do you think tonight, Dan? Little Each, Ukbar, Keegs, Welshie. Who's going to be who are we looking at as really the strong performer for tonight before the night gets going?
You got to say one of the at least one of the Audis or the Ginettas, really, and you got to look at like the likes of Little Each, Ukbar, Shane possibly. He seems to be finding pace each week, so possibly Shane as well. But also, like, I wouldn't discount the likes of JM Grill or Lucas Roth, even though they might be struggling with grip-wise, but they might be able to muscle this Mercedes round. I had a brief go in the Mercedes last night, and it is quick round here, It's just knowing how to drive it quick. Probably not consistently, but it might be able to surprise you in qualifying. As Jam Grill, his car looks very planted at the minute, to be fair, as he goes through the middle sector.
It does indeed. Dean Wisoki's got in and Shane has got back in. Good evening to Piad and Plover, Mother Davis, Fury's granddad and Dean Wisoki all in the chat. 20 of you watching, 8 thumbs up at the moment. If you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, because we are 3 subscribers away from that magic 300 mark, and what an effort it has been. Just before, a month before that, what will be the 2-year anniversary as well, so that would be absolutely brilliant to do. In fact, we have had a new subscriber, just looking now, so we are up to 298. It says 297. I don't know if that's going to change to 298 though. Not sure. But if you are new to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified. Dan and Jamie Brazy will be live tomorrow night for the pros around Brno, in which should be a fantastic night. If you are, maybe D Biggs could get the best out of the car tomorrow night in the Audi. We'll have to wait and see, as there is a lot of Mercedes and Lamborghinis on there. 2:03s then at the minute are the benchmark from Holty then, with 11 minutes left. And Dan, a very long lap around this Brno circuit. The long 20-minute practice is for final tweaks, final preparations in the car. The 10-minute qualifying, on the other hand, is a different kettle of fish, because you've got to make sure you get a run in, because if you keep messing up lap times, Dan, that 10 minutes is going to tick by. 2 minutes a lap, it's going to fly by within 5 laps.
Yeah, definitely so. It's all about nailing a lap around here. If I was me and I was a gambling man, with the weather as it is, with clear skies, I would opt to go for hards really for myself, but I'd have to make the whole session as quickly as I possibly can, as Lucas Roth slows there, as Shane gets back into the session, and they both end up in the pits. As this man is currently doing really well, let's take a lap here of Brno with Shane and the Super Crash Bros Audi as he heads into turn number 1. And like I said, this track is very wide. It's very easy to turn in and run wide itself. You can take this corner 2 different ways. You can come in tight and go out wide, or go out wide and come in tight. And turn 2, really not really a corner, but it does catch a few people out running a bit wide after turn 1. As you head now down to turn 3, easy to just, again, miss your brake in and just go too deep. You don't want to go too wide, because if you go too wide, you'll make the run to turn 4 much more difficult. So you want to bring that front back to the left hand side, open up turn 4 to give yourself a good run down the hill towards turn 5. Myself and Andy had a very good fight down here, and many good fights have happened here at Brno. So we head towards turn 5. Do not hit the tyre barriers, as they will wreck your car. Very easy to run wide. That curb will make the car feel unsettled. And then into turn 7, really patient corner. You want to get on the power as soon as you can, but the rear will not like it, and you want to spin the rear up. And then into 8 and 9, into a slow chicane again, getting right onto the left hand side, opening up for 9, so that you can have a great run and good exit out the corner towards turn 10. We go in a slight downhill braking as well. Very easy to miss your braking and the car becomes unsettled. And again, another corner where you can come in tight, go out wide, or double apex it, whatever you find is the best for you. As Shane tends to just stay wide. Into 11 and 12, the really only tightest part of the circuit, into a uphill chicane. Again, the car will feel light as it comes up, and it will want to lose the rear just on the exit of the chicane, and then heading towards 12 and 13, and pretty much you're on your way home here. And again, just at the top of the hill, you can miss your braking, car becomes rear light, and you're unable to keep it under control. A little dip mid-corner in the final corner, and if it's in the wet, that is a river monsoon style track, and towards the line. And if it's a decent lap time, as it is for Shane, it's a 2:02.8, but the man who's fastest at the minute is this man,
DJ Phil Green. DJ, what a lap as well, a 2:01. That is impressive from DJ Phil. What can his teammate do? And Dan, just to go back to where you come out the uphill chicane, you know the uphill before turns 12 and 13 is called Horsepower Hill, so I'm told by Kieran Argent. In the bikes they called it Horsepower Hill, apparently, to get into the final 2 corners, so we'll have to make sure we mention that tonight. But DJ Phil and the Terminal Velocity Racing team are 1-2 in this practice session at the moment, with Shane currently in 3rd place, Holty 4th, James Grove 5th, Lidl Each 6th, Lucas Roth down in 7th, Smithy 8th, Bryn down in 9th, with Walshy 10th, Stokesloff 11th, Dean and that Bozzy Boy yet to set a lap time, but are both out there on the track at this moment in time. And for the Mercedes-Benz drivers. None of them look to be going any quicker at the moment. Here comes Little Each. Any better lap time for him? No. But Lucas Roth has just gone purple sector 1 on my phone, so that is a good sign for him as he's coming through the middle sector now. Starts off a bit off the pace. That's obviously not a representative lap time at the moment. 59 seconds off the back. But the poll is out for who you think will take pole position. Make sure you get your votes in on that one, as 23 of you are now watching the stream. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you are new. And get your vote in on the poll. Lucas Roth, Little Each, Ukbar or Holty for pole position are the 4 I went for. If you disagree with any of them 4, comment in the chat who you think might get it, because I may have missed someone out who I didn't even think might have got pole position tonight.
Possibly DJ Phil.
Yeah, cracking lap time. That 3/10 quicker than his teammate. As here comes Stealth Sloth, full tank of fuel. It does improve by 27 seconds. So still not really a representative time. We know Stealth Sloth's not that much off the back of Welsh's pace and Bryn's pace at times, as Lucas Roth there put the brakes on and does it again here. So goes 1.2 faster.
There's more time. He's holding back.
He didn't he? He braked across down the start straight there. He's gone within a second. But yeah, there is a lot more time there, I imagine.
He's hiding his true pace. He doesn't want the others seeing his true pace. That's what he's doing there. As Shane comes into the pits and does a practice pit stop. And this is something we don't see from the guys as much as, there you go, Ukbar goes top of the table, 4/10 faster than his teammate. I reckon Keys has got a lap time underneath him that could put him top of the table.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want anybody to see it.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Dan, as Bryn comes to the line now. Just under 6 minutes left in this session. Only 2 drivers not yet set a time, and Bryn it goes 9/10 quicker and finds himself only 7/10 off the back of Little Each, who's down in 8th place at the moment. Welshie struggling out at final corner. Looked like he was taking a different line. He's lost out there. I think that was Smithy weaving in front. Then Holty, I do believe, has got to the line. He stays 7th. What about Little Each, currently down in 8th? Dean goes back to the pits, and Little Each goes up into P3. 2/10 exactly slower than DJ Phil at the moment. Bozzy Boy out there hoping for a better week this week.
Yeah, hopefully so. Oh, as JM Grill has ended up in the water, and there's that tricky penultimate corner there that always catches some drivers out. It's very easy just to try and get on too much power. And like I said earlier on, man, this track really rewards patient people on the throttle. You can't just put your foot down and hope the car to grip. You really do have to ease the throttle around here and take your time. And with the hills as well, it's really going to catch a few drivers out. But what's the nice thing about Brno? It's very, very wide here, so you can race each other. It's very wide. Great opportunities for racing here. I know in a previous league I raced here in Formula Renaults, and it was one of the best funs I've ever had around this circuit. So there is space, there is opportunities to go for moves, go for opportunities, but still have to be wary, especially if it's wet.
We've always seemed to have good races here, but it has always seemed to be wet at Brno. It is dry tonight and will be dry throughout. It looks beautiful forecast for today. Tomorrow, on the other hand, maybe a little bit mixed as Bozzy Boy gets a time on the board. Quicker than Stealth Sloth, but 1.9 off the back of Welsh's. Dean, the only man to not get a time in yet. Dan, we always see great racing here at Brno, though, like you say, very tight. And I'm going to use a phrase your dad uses a lot. That every single corner is a hurry up and wait kind of corner.
Yeah, it's and that's why I think that this circuit tends to suit my driving style better. I'm quite a patient driver, and that's why with this circuit you do have to just take your time. You can't force anything. You have to allow the car to use its natural grip and power to do so. Especially the Audi and the Ginetta should be the more stronger cars, because it has that grip, it has that patience of delivering the power and all that lot. But like you said, even when it's wet, dry, foggy, dark, whatever, this track always produces great racing. And even though most of the drivers, I know for a fact, hate this circuit, they think it's boring, they think it's dull, I personally put it up there as a good circuit to at least race on.
Yeah, I think it's always brought some fantastic racing. And go back to Pro-Am last year, where myself, Holty and Plava had a cracking three-way battle at times around this track, and yourself and Andy a few seasons ago. There's always been scraps everywhere, and you always see drivers kind of make what would normally be a late lunge where the other drivers got to leave the room, but around this track it's not.
I think one of the best drives ever at this circuit was actually back in season 1, back in the wet weather, when Sutty came from the back of the pack pretty much to hunt down myself and the Biggs. right down to the very end. And I think just on the last lap, Sutty just got onto the back of me. So Sutty, this is a Sutty kind of circuit, this is. And that's why I think this Lamborghini should be relatively good round here once it gets a lap underneath it.
Now, that was your, obviously, Bruno, very fond memories for yourself here at Simplay Motorsport, as it was none other than your first race win.
Wow, mixed feelings.
Mixed feelings.
Last season was a little bit of my
double points,
mistake,
wasn't it, last season?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Any milestones tonight? Let's take a look. None at the moment in terms of race wins. In terms of race appearances, Bryn will be the next man to make his 100th, and then Plava will be the next man to make his 50th. But that will be tomorrow night in race 1. In terms of Holty, he'll make his 50th start next week. In terms then of pole positions, again, no real milestones there, as DJ Phil gets a massive slide through the final corner and cannot correct it. In terms of pole positions and race wins, again, no milestones, because there's no Porsche on the grid, otherwise it could have been in for its 50th win of its Simplay career, but with no Porsche here, it cannot do so.
Might have to change
in this one.
Point.
Yeah, you might have to.
No
Porsche.
Might have to bring the old girl back out and see if she's still covered in cobwebs.
One thing that can happen tonight is if Footbar and DJ Phil get a pole position, it will no longer be tied with the Audi, it will be tied with the McLaren. If they take 2 pole positions, it will be 5th on the all-time list of pole positions here at Simplay Motorsport. It is ahead of Renault on its race wins, though. So it's got a long way to go to catch the Acura.
It's amazing how this little car is going to be, if it does it, it's going to be 5th of the rank of best qualifier.
Best qualifying manufactured cars, yeah.
It's crazy to think. Let me guess, it's Mercedes possibly number 1.
Yeah. Mercedes is 30 ahead of car number 2, and I'll let you guess that one.
Of car number 2?
Yeah, so manufacturer 2 for pole positions.
So I'm guessing it's the Porsche?
No.
The Lamborghini?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lamborghini. Then I'm guessing it's Porsche.
Then the Porsche, 1 pole position in front of
the McLaren.
The BMW.
Oh, the BMW. Of course, why did I say McLaren? I was behind that BMW for the whole of last season.
Yes, especially in qualifying you was. The Mercedes-Benz 71, Lamborghini 41, Porsche 36, BMW M6 35, McLaren 20, Ginetta and Audi 19. Sadly, for all those Acura fans out there, that's only got 6. I couldn't get it on many polls last season. But it does have 12 wins to its name, which is a bonus then, as Dean has managed to get a lap time on the board and puts himself P11. That Bozzy boy has promoted himself to P4, so not a bad time then, and he's on his final lap. Coming through, he's not now. That one's over.
That's almost Max Verstappen and Charles.
Yeah, Charles Leclerc. Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the Ferraris. That's kind of fashion of doing a 360. Going back to the pole positions things, Matt. I think I've gone from F2 now, and I've taken an Andy approach. I just seem to just get pole positions now and never seem to win now.
I think I said this to you Sunday night. You've taken both pole positions. Obviously, for those who don't watch the F2 on a Sunday night, sprint and a feature race, if you qualify on pole for the feature race is what you're qualifying for, you start 10th in the sprint race. The top 10 basically get reversed. Dan has taken both pole positions, so he started 10th in both sprint races. He DNF'd at Bahrain sprint race and came third in the Algarve sprint race. In the feature race where he started on pole, he got hit off by his teammate Keegs and finished down the pack, and then finished second to Jamie Brazier. So you have kind of taken that Andy approach of 2 poles, no wins. But yeah,
I'm never going to win a championship that's not got GT.